Get out!
Hello tankers and tankettes, welcome to a viewer submitted replay. This is from the NA server, it's an ELC game and this is from, oh good lord, AC 932's Soviet Nether. I think we'll just stick with AC, don't you? So he's driving his ELC, this is, oh good lord this map, Halluf, there we go, took a moment to come to me. It used to be that this was a really terrible map for scouting. There wasn't that much you could do, but there are a few more options these days. There's a bit of terrain in the middle to work with, which allows you to actually get to some early spotting positions, do some active scouting, and then retreat to a position where, in theory, you should be safe-ish. AC, or should we just call him Nether? Actually, Nether might be better. Nether zoomed down to that middle spot and he's already spotted a few things, the T69, one of the T21s. I'm not sure he spotted the T44, but oh, that was awfully close. But it's clear that he's gonna be, I mean, whizzing around in the middle like this, he's certainly going to be occupying some of the enemy's attention, because a lot of our team is not really trying to contest the middle actively. They're sitting back on the ridge, and there we go, he puts one in that T21, zooming back along the middle now, and yeah, that's unfortunate he took that damage, but that was another close miss. And another one! They clearly weren't quite aiming in that direction, but oh no, see, you don't want to do that, because oh that's bad. Yeah, use your repair kit, then immediately get tracked. This is going to be something of a theme in this replay. I'm not going to say that this is a, and another miss, that this was an amazingly tactically planned match, that this was even a very cleverly fought match. He says it was his first one of his of the day, and I don't know. I don't know. I haven't looked up his stats. I don't know anything about this guy other than he sent me this replay. But I thought it worth. See, that's the kind of thing. That was kind of silly, to be honest, going against a T44 when he's on the wrong side of a hill and you've got no fire support. 63 health and oh, those misses! Oh, good lord, those misses! This is a match where somebody was doing silly things and getting outrageously lucky, and I mean really outrageously lucky. I mean, you've had a taste of it now. I mean, the whole rest of the match is going to be like this, basically. So, not content with having spotted a bunch of people and being shot at a bunch of times, he whizzes off back along to the town. I don't know what to call that, the mound, the little hill with the buildings on top of it, towards the southern end of the map, just trying to pick up the spots, trying to light up enemies that his camping teammates, because they're all still, you know, there on the ridge, but there on the ridge means they can shoot at stuff. And another miss. Yeah, if this all goes according to plan, he should get some spotting damage at least out of this, because he's the only person for his team that's active in the middle right now, and he's just whizzing around basically and dodging and trying not to get shot because he's only got 63 health now. We seem to be winning this quite nicely though, 6-1, which is quite nice. I mean, this is 6-2. The rest of the team seems to be at least quite competent, and again he goes round, and the T44 fortunately fired and missed, but then he does this kind of turn maneuver, and look at that miss. I mean, this is just ridiculous. So many times he should have died, and so many times he doesn't. So he's now on the opposite slope. He sees that M103 is alone. This might be a chance to pick up some free damage, so he's going to whiz across in that direction, and oh, it's just every kind of bump and slope. I mean, when I watched this the first time through, I was like, oh my god, don't go that way, because just hitting the ground slightly too hard could kill you. So he doesn't stop quite in time there, he doesn't brake, or the M103 moves or something. But there we go, he gets the kill with 57 damage. Yeah, this is not going to be a high damage game, but I hope you're being entertained nonetheless. his team is now fully on the offensive, 9-3. I mean, we've got the other guys on the ropes, basically. And although some people would be content to withdraw to a more safe distance and maybe try and snipe with that pretty amazing gun, he still decides to just be whizzing around and just be in the thick of it and spot things and try and pick up that spotting damage, because that's what it's all about as a scout, especially when you've got a team that has got their opponents on the ropes so thoroughly. But you might be thinking, oh well, this will be a really quick replay. Actually, it's going to be a slightly longer one than you might think, given how the teams are doing. Maybe just because of the nature of Halluf and the nature of some of his team members, because all the really active people basically pushed round through that northwest corner, and that slide there, I was like, don't track yourself again, don't go over a bump and kill yourself, because what kind of a that would be a sad ending to this, a disappointing ending if it was just went over a bump, died. So yeah, he's looking for stuff that might be over here. The T-30 he re-spots, and the T-30's undoubtedly seen him. Bear in mind, he's doing all of this without the benefit of Sixth Sense, so yeah, I guess he just has to assume that he's spotted all the time. So he waits till the T-30 pops off his radar. He knows he's likewise gone off the T-30's radar, and instead of pressing around that corner, he actually kind of fakes out, and he's actually going to go up this slope instead, because they won't necessarily be expecting him to do that. The T-30 is probably sat pointing at that corner at J7, waiting for Neath to come round, Neither, but he's not going to do that. He's going to get up here. There's a couple of rocks he can use for some cover, and there's not many enemies left now, so it's just kind of spotting where they are, peeking, maybe picking up some spotting from artillery or his teammates who are kind of slowly pressing forward. There has been some whittlage. I mean, it's 12-7 now. We definitely had some strong momentum, but the last couple of defenders and the artillery have actually been able to inflict some damage. So the T-30 has withdrawn. That T-34 looked like he was maybe coming forward, and Neither just withdraws, gets the hell out of there, and again, if that turn had been a bit sharper, he could have easily tracked himself, but at least he would have tracked himself in a fairly safe place. 12-8! Yeah, that T-30's down at least, but the last couple of tanks just did not want to die on the enemy team. They fought really hard. It is now basically that T-34 and enemy artillery, and the T-34 has got stuff coming from his front. Neither pings one at the back of the turret, but it bounces off, and I got a bit confused at this point about what he was trying to do. I was thinking, that's a really, why would you try and, that's not gonna, and then I don't know, I don't know. Maybe he was playing with lower terrain quality settings and that looked like a shot, but it wasn't. And then I figured out what he's actually trying to do is this. He's trying to shoot the track so he gets assistance damage, but it wasn't much assistance damage because that guy was practically dead at that point. He also did a bit of damage himself. It was a damaging shot as well as a tracking shot, but hopefully he got some spotting damage, because the tracking assistance damage out of that one won't have been very much. Last guy, artillery. Neither has to be really careful not to bump into this guy. I mean, just the tiniest nudge and he could be a goner. The T-43 probably still reloading. Oh, 15 health, don't do that. Oh, but Neither reloads, polishes the guy off, who was probably still reloading, and even if he wasn't, he would have not had enough gun to pressure. But my word, do you see what I mean about outrageous luck? I mean, that was absolutely ridiculous. I've had some fairly silly ELC games myself over the time I've been playing World of Tanks, but I don't think I've ever seen anything quite that silly, quite that ridiculous, where the enemy, apart from times when he basically presented himself and allowed himself to get shot, which was not really smart play, let's be honest, but the enemy tanks missed him so much, and oh my word, I was on the edge of my seat for a lot of that, and I hope that was entertaining for everyone else watching as well. So we'll take a quick look at the stats. That was his actual Ace Mastery, his Ace Tanker badge, and that's because he got nearly 5k spotting. He did Okay, he did nearly 1k damage, 950 just about, and that was alright. That's not terrible for an ELC. I've seen people with much better damage counts because, like I said, it's got a really good gun for a tier 5. But the stats that stand out are that 4.8k spotting and assistance damage, and also the fact that he drove nearly 6 kilometers, 5.8 kilometers driven, which is not bad going for a scout tank in a match that didn't even last 9 minutes. So it wasn't like we were creeping up to the 15-minute mark. But something like an ELC, I mean, it's not always the smart thing to do because it's so fast, it is often the tempting thing to do, just to whiz around all battle long. And I've actually had battles like that myself, where you just spend a lot of time whizzing around, and then it comes to a certain point where the smart thing to do would actually be to go and sit in a bush. But you're just so in the mindset of, yeah, pedal to the metal, full throttle, just, you know, power around the place, and then, yeah, you either get lucky or you screw up, and in my case it's usually screwing up. But in this case it was very much luck. Incredible, stupendous amounts of luck. So, if you enjoyed this replay, if it kept you on the edge of your seat, you can hit the like button, you can subscribe to my channel, you can check out my Facebook page, and of course, as always, stay tuned for more.